Gosh, bro, yo, this nigga careless bro, yo, this fucking bum ass head, what the shit, bro? This nigga wears like a fucking prosthetic big yo, pussy, what the fuck? This nigga hopped over Mexican border to himself. What the hell, bro? What the fuck? Yo, what's good, man?
Alright, so I assume you're taking the theist position.
You're a theist? Alright,
So I'm saying, are you taking the theist position?
yes.
I'll be agnostic atheist. This one.
Agnostic atheist, don't you think it's like a sense like a little bit like contradictory?
No.
Wait, why?
Because all the agnostic atheist states is that they don't know if there's any real motivation in God being true, so they reject God being true. It's just you saying that, well, if there isn't any evidence that convinces me that God is true, then I just don't accept God being true or God existing.
And now just the atheistic position that's not necessarily agnostic. Agnosticism basically just posits that we just don't like know.
Yeah, you're positing that. You're positing that.
So you make or just take some form of dogmatic attitude about God's existence, you wouldn't be agnostic. I mean, your belief is tied to agnosticism, right? Say, for example, you don't know. That's a belief.
You're not getting my point. You're not getting my point.
Yeah, I get your point. You're explaining it, but that's not relevant to what I'm saying.
You're not getting
I'm
my
not
point.
summoning anything.
Bro, can I talk? If you're atheist, you don't think God exists. If you're agnostic, then you're saying that it's unknowable whether or not that God does exist. But all the atheists would be is just saying that they don't hold a belief in the existence of God, and they're agnostic on whether or not it's even knowable or God can even exist in the first place. That's all agnostic atheist is. So you can have, so there can be like certain things that you're agnostic to.
Yeah, you do realize. Like, yeah. I get that point. But what I'm explaining, which is like correlating to this entire point, is that agnosticism. You are basically saying it's unknowable if you know God exists or not, right? But that's still like they're still taking a belief that they don't know if God exists, right? But
what?
Yeah, they don't. They have belief.
No, they're saying no, but you're not getting my point. They don't hold. They don't believe God exists.
I think I should like explain this better.
They don't believe God exists. They just don't.
No, agnosticism
don't know if it's noble or if he does exist.
No, agnosticism does not believe that God doesn't exist. What do you want?
What? You can be skeptical and still what?
Yeah, I'm not talking about. I'm basically just saying.
Be skeptical and deny something.
I don't think you're getting my point. I think
there's no contradiction with that. I don't see what.
No, there's no contradiction here because I don't think you're getting the point. The point is I'm explaining what agnosticism is, and then I'm moving on to atheist.
You just want to put it like Wikipedia. They give a literal definition of it. Right?
Yeah, I don't quite care for that right now. I'm just explaining what it is.
But I'm not going to engage in semantics. You can just look at the Wikipedia, bro. Obviously, you have two different definitions of agnostic atheism is. So if you read it, you're say agnostic atheist.
Commenting that point. No, I didn't. No, I was saying about agnosticism, but then
I'm saying that I don't care to like debate with you over semantics. You're just not ever gonna get the point.
You don't have to.
So you can just go to general chat. Read it. They say agnostic atheists are atheistic because they do not hold a belief in the existence of any deity. So they're atheistic because they don't believe in God. Can I talk? They're atheists because they don't believe in God. And they're agnostic on whether or not if God is even noble in the first place. Or if there's even like anything that truly noble.
Here's the thing. It would be like a tokenization between beliefs, but they combine these beliefs here, right? So they establish a conjunctive relationship between agnosticism and atheists, right? They don't know
Oh,
what they
where's the contradiction?
agnostic belief. What I'm
Where,
seeing, what I'm saying is that
bro?
if you're gonna be unknown or just hold the stance of agnostic attitude that God does not exist, but also hold that you don't know this, your belief right here. It doesn't give us like some form of conditioned framework. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
What?
It doesn't forwardly to that.
How are you? Okay, where's the contradiction in you being agnostic atheist? This is so retarded.
Yeah,
It
sure.
doesn't even matter. Can we just engage? Just prove your point. Like this is so relevant.
So now you're just gonna like.
You're trying to meta
And
debate
now
on
you're
like
gonna open up a new point, but then you want to move on.
you're trying to meta debate on like a fucking position. It doesn't matter if you just can't prove
That's
your
not
point.
medical because I'm
Yeah,
tying this.
okay, it doesn't even matter. I'll take an
Influence
agnostic
my
position.
victory.
It's so retarded.
All right. Then so you're just gonna take agnostic. All right. Good.
I think it's so retarded.
We can go back
It's
to the main topic now. All
what I've
right.
been saying the whole time. It's just so retarded.
Yeah, sure. I
I mean,
completely
honestly,
agree with
even if you like, it's not even really a
We're
concession. I just
moving
don't
on.
care to meta debate on this point.
Moving on already. Shut up. Okay. So
Yikes.
I just believe God's existence because of like let's just say immorality. Yeah.
Oh my god. You said what?
I think God exists because morality is going to be a factor within.
God exists because of morality.
No, I never said that's the cause for his existence. I said it's going to influence how we can justify it. Or rather, I just implied that.
What do you even define God as? Before we get into that.
I just define him as like some form of ultimate substantiation for reality.
So are you saying he's a necessary being?
Yes, practically.
Okay, so you just think he exists in every possible world?
No, that's metaphysical necessity. I'm saying about like he just has to be aware. It just
What?
it's a mortal collapse.
That doesn't make sense.
What do you mean? It doesn't make sense. Go ahead, justify that.
I don't. What does a metaphysical? What does that even mean?
If it's a necessity, it's where you exist in all possible worlds.
No, I think that's just indexed to the nature of being itself. I don't even know where you're getting the
No, you
necessity
do
part
realize
from.
that a necessary being in the context I'm talking about is
I'm
in
saying
metaphysical
logically
necessity.
necessary. Like, what are you talking about?
No, you asked me if it
You're in
was a
every
metaphysical
world.
necessity. You asked me if it was a metaphysical
As a matter of
necessity.
fact, I'll just
Now we're
Google what
moving on
that
to the
says.
next place now. What the fuck?
Metaphysical necessity. Let's Google this up.
Yeah, metaphysical necessity is still not
Let
the
me see.
thing. By
So
necessary being,
metaphysical necessity,
it's something that
phenomenological
exists in all possible
necessity,
worlds.
metaphysical necessity. It's not even telling me what it is. An argument for God.
You know, would you let me just explain the distinction?
Hold
Or
on, I'm
no?
not doing. I'm trying to read it.
Or
Let me see. Phenomenological necessity is according to the law. Oh, this is retarded. I don't. What? This is very retarded. Yeah, I was right. It's in relation to its being.
Yeah,
We would
so
probably
yeah,
just
although
say.
I hope you do realize that yeah, it's in relation to its being because it exists in all possible worlds. See, it's in relation to the being because it X exists in all possible worlds. If it didn't exist and I
So
know
why
something,
is God
would you
necessarily
say that's
true?
gonna be an impossible world? Wait, what do you say?
So why is God necessarily true in the context of logic? Because obviously, there's a distinction between a metaphysical scope and a logical scope.
Yeah, we know that. Like that's the whole
Okay.
distinction I was trying to make. By necessary being,
Okay.
when I
So
was
why is
talking
he
about it,
necessarily
like
true?
I already defined what I think, God is gonna be, right? What I'm basically
So do you think
defining.
he's logically necessary?
Well, hold up. Wait, what do you think logical necessary is, real quick?
True in every possible world,
Um, yeah,
or like supersedes every possible world? Oh, you said what?
yeah. I think he like just preserves every post forward. Like, I think he's just the ultimate
You
substitution.
can go ahead and justify that.
Yeah, sure. So, I think that morality is just gonna be like some form of platonic form for God's
What?
existence. Yo, I just said that. Are you? What do you mean?
Morality?
What? Yeah, I
Oh,
mean
wait, is it
morality.
possible morality doesn't exist?
Uh, no, because I think that's gonna be also like
How?
that's
Wait, so
gonna
where's
be
the
God's
contradiction in
nature.
morality? Where's the contradiction to being a world where morality doesn't exist?
Okay, yeah, sure. So, if we're using morality to justify God's existence, I'm basically saying it's going to be a platonic form of God's existence, not how He shapes this world. The universe
What?
will be representing God in some way.
How
So,
is
it's not.
what? How is
No, no, no,
morality a
hold on.
platonic form? What does that even mean?
What do you mean by platonic? Yo, you don't
You
know.
said you said he's a platonic form of God. What does that even mean?
I didn't say He is. I said morality is going to be a platonic form of some form of aspects of His nature.
You're not getting my point. I'm saying, how are you going to use a contingent thing to justify a necessary thing? How does that work?
Because the platonic form itself is contingent, but not the being itself. A platonic
What?
form would
What,
need
bro?
like
That's what's in question. How are you proving that?
yeah, I'm trying to like explain that to you, but like yeah.
Okay, so there's no contradiction with there being a world morality doesn't exist. So
No, I
your
didn't even
argument.
finish. What the fuck you mean? You didn't yo,
Okay, so I'm
we ain't gonna
no,
make
I'm the
that
one making that claim right now. I'm saying there's no
you fucking
contradiction.
jump to conclusion. What the fuck?
I'm just saying there's no contradiction with that. But you can go
Yeah,
ahead and
I'm
explain.
trying to substantiate why there is a contradiction with that.
Oh, okay, go
That's
ahead.
what I was gonna do. So basically, if basically morality is going to be like some form of like a platonic form of like one of God's nature, for example, right? If it's gonna be this platonic form, right? That would
That's
mean it
what's
would
in
be
question.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm trying to explain, right? So basically, it would need a some form of predicated relationships with the essentially
What does that
perfect
mean?
forms. What I'm saying is just a positive predicate, which means it's going to be positive towards its relationship status for how it exists.
Okay, one. This is you're still presupposing God exists.
I'm not. No, that no.
How does this? How does bro?
That's
You're not
moving on
getting
to
my
another
point.
point. You're gonna make another point. That's shotgunning
How is that shotgunning?
because now you're making another point.
I've been saying you've been begging the question the whole time. Like, what are you
No,
talking about?
you have. Okay, yeah, you never give any substance for that. I know. Wait. Plus, you've been
Because
asking.
you
No,
are
no, no,
doing
no, no,
it.
no. Hold on,
I
hold on.
questioned
You've
the
been
first argument.
asking me. No, you've been asking me to substantiate more this,
Yeah,
but you
yeah. I
never
want
let
you
me
to
finish.
prove. How does
So now
that
you're
prove?
gonna like no, no, no.
I
Now you're
think
gonna
that's a. I
explain
think
like
that's okay. Go ahead and justify how there's not a there's a contradiction.
yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. You
Yeah.
keep calling in
So
on that
I don't
fallacy.
want you to talk about other claims. I want you to specifically tell me how morality not being in one possible world is a contradiction.
Okay, so then shut the fuck up. Let me explain. Easy.
Go
So
ahead.
basically, I already seen the positive relationship between the imperfect form and the perfect form. So if the platonic form is
You said what? I you gotta repeat it. What'd you say?
so what I said is that for the positive relationship status, I already like explained that shit. So if a platonic form is going to exist, it would need a perfect form to mimic. So if morality is going to be a platonic
What?
form of God's nature or something like that, it would definitely need this, specifically this perfect form to exist. Otherwise, it's going to be a contradiction because the platonic form wouldn't be able to exist without the perfect form, and that would just
What?
be and you can still say, for
Bro,
Bro,
example,
what
shut
is
up.
that? Bro,
You a
that
no,
doesn't
dog
you
shit.
even
can put
that
like
doesn't even make
fallacies,
sense.
like
Yo,
That literally
careless.
doesn't
Why you
make sense.
debating this dog shit
I
ass
don't.
nigga?
I'm finna like get my counter argument and try to like
yes.
disengage, but that argument literally doesn't make sense. I'm pretty sure the
Yeah, it
whole
makes
point.
no sense.
I'm pretty sure the whole point of platonic forms is supposed to explain how there's a perfect form, like a perfect entity, that encapsulates or explains all like lower entities. Like for like imagine I interpret love as like fucking a bitch or like kissing somebody, right? The highest form of love would be the perfect form of love, and that would just be like what love
That's
fundamentally
basically
is.
what's fucking
Yeah, so
explaining.
I'm saying that God and the platonic form of fucking morality are
Retard,
two
man.
different things. That doesn't even explain how there isn't a contradiction with the
Yeah,
platonic
that's
form just not being in
explaining
the
there's a
world.
contradict. Yo,
And
you
then
ain't
again, you're
even let
still
me
wait, chill,
finish.
and then wait, chill, and
No,
then you're
no,
still
no, no.
pre.
You ain't let me
Wait,
finish.
wait,
You
can
try
I
to
talk? I
constantly. What
wasn't
the
done. I
fuck?
let you talk. I let you talk, and then you're still presupposing that that property of there's even that property would even like be God's properties, or would be one of God's properties. That's what you're presupposing, and then again, you're still presupposing God fucking exists. So again, where's the
Okay, so you
contradiction
do
in the
realize.
being a world that doesn't have morality? I'm asking
Okay,
you to prove that
so
piece.
no, 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 no. Hold on, hold on. You do realize that you're not letting me finish like this fucking weird.
Yes. So
I
one
already got to the
supports
point
your
where I'm
argument.
like asserting.
You're
No, no.
begging the
I've only
question.
gotten to the point. I got assert. I
You're,
was
you're, you're begging the question. So
asserting. That's
why
not
does
begging the
that
question. What the
property?
fuck? That means
Yes.
begging the
Okay.
question
Go
means I'm
ahead.
going circular. My argumentation is not finished to where a point I can have
No,
a
you are
proposition.
definitely
And
going
then repeat the
circular.
proposition at the end for my conclusion. That's what begging the question is, you retard.
You
That's a
are going
non-exceptional.
circular. You are definitely going circular.
How? How? Go ahead.
Yes.
Go
The
ahead.
reason for why you're going circular is because at the start of this point, I specifically asked you, what's the argument for there being a contradiction in morality just not being in the world? One, you conflated what God and morality is. One, you aren't. If you define God and morality to be one to one, then that's you saying that morality is a necessity because you define God as necessary at the start of this fucking debate. One, I specifically asked you to prove to me that there's no contradiction with there being a world that morality doesn't fucking exist within, thus making the property or principle contingent. You try giving the argument. You try saying, well, it's a perfect form, and the perfect form must be God, which is fucking retarded because one, that's what's in question. Two, you're conflating what a perfect form is and what God is. Because there's
Okay, so
nothing about Platonism that tells us it's fucking necessary. What are you talking about?
Rico, I think you just fucking strawman that point. No, I didn't say morality is going to be an essential aspect for specifically X or like the necessary being in
Bro,
question
I'm
to
saying
exist.
it
No,
can't.
I
It
didn't fucking
can't.
say that, you retard
I'm
dickhead.
saying it
Oh,
can't.
shut
It
the fuck
can't
up,
be.
bitch
It
ass
can't.
nigga. Anyways, no, what I was saying is that basically morality is going to be contingent upon the perfect form because it's going to be a platonic form of perfect form. It's basically a representation of what that thing is. It's not necessarily the same
What?
thing. What I'm saying is that morality is also going to
That's
be a
trivial.
belief
That's
of God's
trivial.
existence because we have, say for example, we have love and etc. Right? Let's just say that specifically this God like I just take like some form of external information on my belief, like Islam, right? Say for example, he's all merciful. That would just entail that his nature as well would be to be all merciful. He would be moral to that. He would basically be forgiving.
Bro,
So
how
basically,
can
he
a
has some
contingent
form of
fact
moral
explain it?
principle.
Bro, oh my god.
You're not
How
letting
can
me
a
finish. No, no, no. You're
contingent
not letting me
fact
finish. You're not letting me finish. I'll get to
how
that.
can
I'll
a
get to that.
contingent fact explain a necessity, bro? Can we get to
It's not
that
a
point?
continuous fact. I'm not saying that I'm not saying morality is going to be for the necessity. I'm saying that morality is for the
Bro,
platonic.
okay, this is so
The
trivial.
platonic
Bro,
is
if I'm like
contingent.
5 years old, chill. If I'm 5 years old and I write about God, I say God is necessary on a fucking piece of paper. Does that actually purport to the conclusion he's fucking necessary, bro? You're not saying shit.
That yes, I am. I'm trying to get to that, but you keep making fucking baseless things open and
Hold on,
open
I
new
gotta do
points.
something.
You're not letting me finish. You're fucking retarded. Oh my gosh, bro,
Yo,
this
what's up,
cannot
Jim?
go
What
any
is
worse
going
than
on?
look, man. Like, bro, we can
What
like
is
go to
going on?
conclusions if you want. Like, we could go to conclusions. Like, man, this is not going anywhere. All this nigga does is just go like, well, it's fuck shit, man. Fuck. Fucking Indian Jew, man. It's a debate, bro. What's up, Go? How you doing, bro?
Okay, what's the topic?
I just told you on some chats. Boys. No. How y'all doing, bro? Anything good? Oh, Oh, careless, you there?
Oh, it was good.
Alhamdulillah. How about you, bro?
What's good?
Alhamdulillah, not too much, bro. How you doing, bro? Oh, careless, you there? Careless.
If you made a claim during this debate, I'm just gonna ask you to prove it. But can you repeat anything you said?
No, I was just calling you like because you went AFK, but like we just repeat what I said like before.
Nope, I did not hear what you said.
Hey, you want to see real quarter, man, bro? Like this is going nowhere.
Just say the argument.
Yeah, sure. So, basically, since morality exists within world, right? We could just come to assumption. Actually, I'm messing. Basically, since morality exists within the universe, I'm basically just saying that morality could be like some form of platonic form or some sort of aspect of like which represents God's nature and how He creates the world. He would give like some form of moral feelings to these beings, and I believe that we can say because God has a perfect form, right? Some form of perfect form.
Oh my god.
So
You wanna
basically,
move on? This is just the
I
same
think
argument you said before. We can end it here.
we can just say the report if you want, like, because